There we go. All nice and live and stuff. And then, possibly the best news that you could ever give me tonight. Rampage. Rampage at 7 p.m. on Friday. So exciting.
It's gonna be so different.
It's gonna be like, oh, I get to eat dinner and just do our watch along and be done by like 8:05, 8:15, something like that. Like, what?
Dude.
I'm gonna have a Friday night where I don't have an awkward thing at 10 to 11.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about it. It's like we get to do it before I get to well, I'll probably still be sleepy because I'm always tired on Friday. But we get to do it before I'm half asleep. Hell yeah.
I mean, the only way I'm gonna be sleepy is if dinner gives me the itis, so. I have to change my timing on a couple little things, but it's real nice considering, you know, when we work on Saturdays and all that good stuff. Not having to be up super late doing that. Ew. Oh, that was a hell of a sneeze.
That was a sneeze, okay. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Turned my nose into a silo, it's just shooting out missile. Like there's that much pressure. Missiles.
Hey man, just don't be like me. That's all I can say is just don't be like me.
I mean, it's been a few days. I would hope if there's something coming that direction, I would have very hopefully started showing symptoms. Watch, I died now tomorrow when I wake up.
Yeah. No, my doctor was saying that she thinks it's a sinus infection. So I would have only been contagious for a couple days, and I didn't see you until I was like sick for like 5 days already.
I will survive.
Yeah. So yeah, should definitely, if you get sick, it should definitely not be coming from me.
Hey, you wanna know one nice thing about doing all this bullshitting?
What?
I once again forgot to hit start recording.
Hey.
Miss anything?
That's right. See, no, you did. You missed a whole lot.
It was 3.
We talked about things and stuff.
Old people things, like getting to go to bed at a decent time.
Exactly. You know, nobody wants to hear about that. Weird that I might pick that up. But I'm assuming. Just let it go.
What?
Nothing. My mic picked up when I farted a little bit ago.
Oh. I was there like rehashing the words that went through my head. I'm like, is there an obvious joke that I missed here?
Farted and I don't know. It's good.
I can smell it from here.
I was like,
that'd be ridiculous.
What happened to the noise suppression? My fart doesn't sound like somebody talking. Or maybe I got that Ace Ventura butt. But I don't have to hold mine.
I'm just watching as we're coming up on 2 minutes, so it just makes it easy for me to cut off the first 2 minutes, or at least the first clip.
Yeah, we can cut that off.
It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means? We just gotta get ref out there to do the 3-arm drop, see if you're still alive and breathing. Kicking over there.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. There was another episode of AEW Dynamite. I'm just saying, and that guy over there, failure.
Hey, I may be dying, but I'm still range of motions.
And we are Top Rope Tokes. I changed everything around, and everything's like flipped and stuff now, so it's a struggle to do these things.
It's
that ain't bad. But we're here to talk with you about AEW Dynamite. If you're here watching the whole live stream back on VOD, don't forget down below, go hit like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Like, talk wrestling with us.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to talk about wrestling. We'd love to talk about it with you and things.
So, to kick off tonight's edition of AEW Dynamite, there was a memorial for Jerry Jarrett, and then next thing, you get Jeff Jarrett's music, and, you know, obviously they're talking about how he just lost his dad, but he wanted to come out, be professional, and just put on a show because, you know, his dad was in the business and everything. But then there was the rap.
Jeff.
Did you catch Caster's rap?
I did not catch the rap.
He went right for it. He actually mentioned something about him losing his dad, but then calls Jeff Jarrett a nepotism baby.
Hot damn. Alright.
Yeah.
So he just went straight for the throat, you know, and then...
Yeah, it was kind of shocking. It was like, memorial. Oh, Jeff Jarrett lost his dad. This dude's gonna come out and talk shit about it right after. I was a little bit shocked, but not.
Yeah. Alright. That's pretty good. Go Caster. And then Jeff Jarrett loses the match too. Damn.
Mm-hmm. So,
damn, son.
Did you notice Sanjay's tie?
I did not.
It was a pencil. Oh. So it was like yellow most of the way down with like a pencil tip at the end, and then it said like property of Sanjay or whatever.
I didn't see enough of the match to notice. I'm sad. I wanted to see that.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna go back and watch that now. Probably not just for a tie.
If you could just see the entrance, they have a point where they just focus on him and he's like showing it off.
He's got a pencil tie, bro. So for the next wrestling event we go to, I'm gonna have a pencil tie and a MJF scarf on, with my Top Rope Tokes t-shirt.
Hold on. Scissor fingers. Just trying to think of how we can add to it. And a purple bucket hat.
Yes. Yes. Oh.
So.
Oh, and then whose mask can I wear?
Pick a luchador?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a Penta mask or something.
Or you could always go Dark Order, but you have less of those. So you don't even see the old school Dark Order match. So, Doug wanted in to kind of have a little face-off with Orange Cassidy. But then they got Billy. And they got Satnam. Or no, Satnam wanted to come in, and it was with whoever, and they tagged in Billy, and then they got out. It was just, they wanted to get, obviously, the biggest, but still massive difference.
Yeah. Because Satnam Singh is 1 in a billion, you know?
Oh, that's what it was. Is they wanted Billy to get in, but Orange Cassidy took the tag. Walked in and sat him, put his hand up to Orange Cassidy's head and like put him up to his chest. Walked over and tagged and done. It was fun.
I love that Sanjay Dutt actually had to wrestle. Well, not really wrestle, but
He
beat up.
He bust out his tights for it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Sanjay Dutt, he's a trooper, man. He'll do whatever he's got to do.
But at one point, Billy Gunn's finally in the match, and Jeff Jarrett points out to him that his sons are on the stage with the tag titles, just kind of being a distraction. But oh my god, towards the end, Caster holds Dutt for Scissor Me Timbers for the longest fucking time. It was ridiculous.
I was there for that. I was there for that. That was the longest Scissor Me Timber wait I've ever had to wait. I mean, he got Scissor Me Timbered. However you would say it.
Because it was what? Tried for Bowens. Bowen got taken out of it. Tried for Billy. That didn't work. And then it was Orange Cassidy. That didn't work. And ended back to Bowens.
Yeah. Because it's not right if it's not Bowens.
Not one person was helping Sanjay.
I mean, it's Sanjay Dutt, man. This is the kind of thing that's supposed to happen to him. Everybody else is protected while Sanjay Dutt gets made to look silly than everyone else in this silly match.
Caster was pelvic thrusting like crazy every time somebody was getting ready to do it.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of thrusting.
But they got the win after Scissor Me Timbers. There was a Guns video a little bit later where they're just rehashing like all the things that people said to doubt the Guns along the way.
Oh yeah. It was we're the underdogs. You know, everybody said we're too green. We only had to wrestle 10 matches last year.
They didn't have to do the indies like all the other people.
We didn't have to, we didn't have to do the making a nickel a show in the indies. So we're sorry that we didn't have to do that.
But they say, come Revolution, welcome to the Gun Show. Which is mainly important because one of the last things that we got about this throughout the night was Renee was talking about the Guns, saying their first defense will in fact be at Revolution. They say that it's going to be a triple threat. One team is going to be in there by Battle Royal, and then they're going to do a casino ladder match to get the other tag team for a triple threat, and then come in the Acclaimed.
Yeah. And they were just like, nah, we're stepping in.
No.
Like, we're invoking our rematch. We're in this thing too. It's going to be a 4-way now. And I was like, damn, I didn't know you guys had that kind of power.
Right. Now, they have a good point because they came in and said, they got screwed out of the championships in the first place. So they're back in.
Yeah. So it's a 4-way match. So it's going to be 2 throw-in teams versus the Guns and the Acclaimed.
I was trying to look, but the graphics were quick, and obviously with the number of tag people involved in tag teams, I'm just like trying to figure out who would make sense. Like, I could see the Best Friends sliding in there as one of them.
Yeah.
Then you would need another heel.
Ooh. You could do Penta and Ray if you're going to have the split of Death Triangle story.
I was just trying to think about
a little bit there.
House of Black, but I don't know who else would be. Yeah. Who the 2 would be.
And then House of Black is somewhat doing that thing with Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, who's feuding with Eddie Kingston. Like, basically everybody hates Eddie. uh, I don't know. Yeah. I forgot who else was on that graphic to be in.
I'm pretty sure I saw that Nice and Woods were going to be in one of them.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I saw Top Flight on there.
Yeah. I think you might have seen Top Flight.
But it kind of wouldn't. Certain. But it kind of wouldn't make a ton of sense just because they. Why would you announce them to be involved in that when they have a trios tag team match on Friday for a title?
Right. I mean, well, we know they're not taking those belts on Friday. They're like, you already know what the outcome is for Friday. Top Flight's going to be in this tag thing, too.
Yeah, I'm trying. So, not really anything else is really popping into mind because can't really do Private Party because one's hurt, but they could do some kind of combination of Ethan, Matt, Isaiah.
Yeah, they could do something with them.
Dark Order as a filler team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you know, I don't really like that AEW keeps going with this casino thing. Like, for every single time that they don't have a decision made, they're just like, yep, casino. Here we go.
There are a few times where it makes sense, because even like with this, they did talk about how it's a normal thing around Revolution. And it typically is. So if you can kind of keep them to like a couple of known times per year, and you don't have to sprinkle in like 2 or 3 other ones throughout the year, not so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like every 2 months there's something about a casino, something happening. I'm like, all right. Now when I hear casino, I'm just like, all right, they couldn't figure out another story to use, so here we go, more casino.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be like in the summer where I feel like within a few months we had 2 different like mini tournaments.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know if those were casino things either.
No, but those were just like the tournaments, like when they had to strip Punk the first time, or when they had to do the intro.
Oh, yeah, because yeah, they had to do that. No, obviously it is what it is there.
So, the second match of the night was Claudio and Mox versus Roosh and Preston Vance.
Oh.
So, can we just knock out the biggest pet peeve of this match right in the beginning?
Do it.
Mox wore a shirt to the ring. It stayed a shirt for about 1 minute. And then, for some reason, he kept wearing it to the end, even though it was only connected at the very, very bottom.
Yeah, like by the second minute of the match, his t-shirt just looked like a really cheap vest.
That the zipper got stuck at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it just stays connected.
The zipper got stuck at the bottom and he just kept it. And I was like, now I know why wrestlers don't wear a shirt unless if it's like, you know, like a Under Armour-y type of thing. And I'm like, because your shirt gets ripped instantly and then you look like you're wearing a ridiculous vest for an entire match like Jon Moxley did here today.
Like, you would just notice it and just be like, this looks so silly. Why don't you just take it off? It would, at points, just take you out of the match.
Yeah, it's weird. It was weird. And I don't know, I just kept laughing at it. Because it was awkward. And you could tell it was getting in the way. And he just kept going with it.
So, this match, actually, they were on their way out to the entrance. On the way out to the ring during the entrance, Rush and them attacked Mox and Claudio, right? And then they're brawling for a little bit, go to a commercial, then get into the ring. It took all the way until the next commercial break for Moxley to bleed.
Hey, but he did bleed though. So all is still right in the world. I feel like Moxley bleeding is like the groundhog showing up, because the groundhog never shows up.
So it's such a non-big deal when Mox bleeds that you can actually do it during the commercial break. A lot of times in your big matches, when it happens, you want that big reveal of like, oh, they're busted wide open. No, it's just Moxley.
Like normal spot for Mox. I wonder how many like that dude's got to have like all kinds of blade marks everywhere.
He was messed up pretty good from this match. We got to see it a little bit later in the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Commentary kept talking about how Preston Vance wanted revenge because last time he faced Mox, that's when Vance injured it. What was it? His pec or his shoulder?
Shoulder, I think.
Something in that area.
Something arm, shoulder arm, something. Yeah, but basically Mox put him on the shelf for 6 months, so he's got a score to settle with him.
Left him a bloody mess, so he was out to do the same, because this was a Texas Tornado tag team match.
Mm-hmm. Because we were in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
So they had tornadoes.
They
match.
Now, Mox bled. Eventually, Vance bled. And he got busted open pretty well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Some point, Claudio comes in. Oh, this is where it was. Because he clears out house because Mox is just being picked on. Claudio gets the chain around his fist and just goes to town on Vance.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go hit of the night there. Because just watching Mr. like wrestler, technical guy, Claudio, just wrap the chain around his hand and they say, nah, I'm about to whoop ass with this chain. That was pretty cool.
Not only that, but like he doesn't look huge, but he's always talked about being so strong. You see him throw that chain around his fist, and like a lot of people, you can tell they're now trying to carry that chain around their fist. Dude was just like it was nothing.
Yeah, like everybody else was just with like throw one or two, and then they take the chain off and then throw regular punches. He's like, nah, I'm gonna wail on them.
He spiked that thing at the end too. Once he had enough, he just slammed that thing.
Yeah, that guy. I want to know what his workouts are, because I gotta start doing those. Like maybe like a watered down version, but
it wouldn't surprise me if they're available, because his old tag team partner before he changed companies has a whole like YouTube channel dedicated to that stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if he has some videos up with him.
Hey, like you want to get a Claudio body, because that's what I'm trying to get.
Way too short to ever look that lanky.
Hey, you could look
sickly. But that chain still comes into play, because in the end, Mox wraps it around Vance, starts to choke him out, does the elbow strikes, and puts him in the what's it called? Was it like the Uchi Katami or something?
Juju Katami, I think. I can't remember exactly how it's pronounced.
It didn't really matter what hold he put him in, so
yeah, that one. But yeah, it's like that one that they use in MMA quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I always have no idea what Joe Rogan is saying.
I mean, he was about to be out cold before he ever got transitioned into that because dude was just being straight up choked with the chain.
Mhm. I gotta go get some tissue.
During the celebration of this match, they cut to a clip backstage to show the Butcher and the Blade holding Hangman and Kip attacking him. They're talking about how they're supposed to wrestle later match or later in the night, but who knows how this will impact things. Which, getting to that now, what ended up happening was they didn't even really draw it out, like do the whole 10 count or anything. Hangman was ready to go. Kip was in the ring wearing the cowboy hat. Once he got in the ring with him, kind of tried to give it back to him. But there are some fun things to this match. So one thing early on, Kip only had Penelope with him. But early on, at some point, Hangman is dragging Kip around the ringside area, and he pulls over towards Penelope, but Penelope steps up and she does the whole no, no, no. Hangman's just like, fuck it, whatever. Turns around, slings Kip into the barricade. Commentary is just kind of laughing about it and everything. Because, yeah, Penelope tried to stop him. Hangman just turned around and did what he wanted to do anyway.
Sorry.
No worries. Next thing I have in my notes is Hangman Adam Page actually hit one hell of a pop-up powerbomb.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was nice. And that was my other candidate for hit of the night.
It's okay, because we're going right into mine, because what did Hangman win with?
He won with a dead eye.
The move.
Not a buckshot lariat.
Was the one that I've wanted, because I remember when it started, it seemed like it was going to be his finisher, then to just transition into the buckshot. But I'm like, no, I like the Deadeye so much better. It was so happy.
Nice. And I'm happy he used it.
I mean, it's similar to Orange Cassidy's like Beach Break in the result that like they just lift them up and over and they can hit that move so quick out of nowhere. You could do it through tables. There's just so many options that you can play with the Deadeye.
Yeah, the buckshot lariat, it's too much time to set up.
Right, there's not you can't really hit a buckshot lariat out of nowhere.
Yeah, no buckshot lariats out of nowhere. I mean,
TV can film it where it's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't just randomly run up to your homie and buckshot lariat him. Like, it's not gonna work. Like, he's gotta let you do it.
I mean, you'd have to get very, very lucky and perfectly time that stuff, or you're gonna see it a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Hangman did not get to celebrate long. The Blackpool Combat Club, minus the person from Blackpool, just gonna point that out.
Mm-hmm.
They come down to ring and they start to look like they, kind of intense, but their faces, so it doesn't really make sense for them to gang up and attack Hangman, right?
Right.
I didn't know what to expect.
I had no idea what was going to happen here either. I was like, they're not going to attack him.
Man, wouldn't have had up.
Yeah. But why are they using the intimidation thing here?
Like, I was trying to play all the angles during the conversation and everything that happened. I'm like, the other two are behind Mox. Are they going to turn on Mox? But I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no rhyme or reason for it, let alone to align with Hangman. I'm like, where are we going with this?
Yeah. Plus, Claudio and Yuta, I feel like you wouldn't give them any stories right now, really, until after the ROH pay-per-view.
The very last day of March, was it not?
Yeah.
So that should be a Friday night.
Yes, it is. I remember I was excited about that because I'm like, hey, We got a pay-per-view on a Friday. That'll be something we'll enjoy.
We'll see how that works out as far as work and scheduling goes. Like, hopefully,
yeah, that's right.
Hopefully, I won't have to be working that Saturday. Hopefully, but Mox just basically says Hangman thinks they have unfinished business, but they don't. He pinned him a couple weeks ago, and he's never gonna let him. He's never gonna beat him, so let it go. Page recites the same thing he's been saying. It can't end with a roll up. It's got to end with somebody not able to get back up. All that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said it's supposed to be a street fight.
Like the kind of fight you have back out in the alleyway.
Yeah, in a dark alley. He kept talking about a dark alley.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to meet Mox in a dark alley. And I'm like, there's only two things that happen in dark alleys. Hopefully it's going to be a fight.
So he says it's got with where only one could be left standing at Revolution. Mox said he had hoped Page had friends to talk him out of it, but Emo Cowboy doesn't. And then the Dark Order comes out. They're about to get destroyed by the BCC, aren't they? Over the next few weeks.
I think so. Yeah, I liked Evil Uno coming out in his business suit because he was all business.
I love Uno with his suit and his mask, and like,
yeah,
he's serious, but his voice is not serious.
Not at all. Cause yeah, he's got a voice that's hard to take serious. Yeah, so
he's made for comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hangman tells him stay out of it. Uno tells him get out of his face. Tells him Dark Order isn't afraid of Moxley. He pie faces Mox. Then Mox looks past him and says at Revolution, Texas Deathmatch. But it will be Mox versus Uno on Dynamite next week.
Mox versus Uno. Let's go Uno.
I hope they surprise me and don't make him look terrible. I hope they surprise me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want Mox to get like a cheap ass win. Because hoping for Uno to get a win is stupid. So like let Mox get a cheap ass win. let him not look good in a win since he got a roll up on Hangman. Let him get a roll up pin or something. Or let him try to take his mask off. Just go full heel.
I would agree with you, but one of our biggest pet peeves in the long time we've been watching AEW together has been fucking with people's masks.
Yeah. Yeah, they do it a lot. And it's just, yeah. Respect the lucha, man.
Now, he is in the lucha, but still, like, his face hasn't been seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure some people have seen it and know what it looks like from whatever times, but I know he's been wearing a mask forever. I've never seen it, and I kind of like it. Even when he would stream on Twitch, he wears his mask.
He likes to live a private life. Nothing wrong with that. He's like Marshmallow. Or Subtract.
Tonight, we also had Josh Woods versus Mark Briscoe making his second appearance on AEW television.
Reach for the sky, boy.
I kind of wish I got to know the Briscoes a lot earlier as opposed to over the last year or so, because it's kind of hilarious, but also crazy. Like, his hilarity makes him also seem crazy enough that dude's gonna just keep fighting through everything. It works so well for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of the things that he said. You know, like when he got his little bit of close up there, it was like he said he's gonna keep on going,
Comments.
which means I think he plus just the way the Briscoes, both of them seem like Jay would probably be like, Mark, if you don't keep fucking wrestling, when you get up here to heaven, I'm
I'm gonna
kicking
whoop
your
your
ass.
ass.
Yeah.
Hey, now at least every time he does the froggy bow, he can always say "reach for the sky." And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like tribute, just it works. But commentary did talk about how in singles competition, these two have a history in Ring of Honor, and Mark is 2-0 against Woods in their history.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking the like normal wrestling world, like that's a setup for telling you that it's about to be 2-1. I'm like, I don't know if Mark Briscoe's losing yet.
No, they they did a good job with that of making you think that it was possible, but I was like, there's no way you give Mark Briscoe a loss. Like it's gonna be a little bit before you can give him a loss and people not be pissed about it. So keep riding that wave for a minute.
I feel like it has to be after they announce whatever's going to happen with the tag team belts and stuff like that. Once that's all kind of sorted out and you can kind of get back to business as usual.
Yeah. Yeah, like at that point, yeah, let's talk about that.
I know very quickly in this match, you referenced something that I had missed. You said loudest pop of the night.
Yeah. So Tony Nese and Ari Daivari were out there being little assholes. And
They both are little.
yeah. It's just they were being little assholes. Ari Daivari actually kind of looks big next to Tony Nese because Tony Nese is so short.
I think Tony Nese, I think I actually might be as tall as Tony Nese.
Which is funny to me. But yeah, the Lucha Bros came out and they were like, nah, dog, you guys aren't going to interfere in this match like that. And they just started whooping their asses and the crowd went wild.
They're trying to say that Tony Nese is 5'9" and Daivari is 5'10". Excuse me.
What?
I've seen other people that are like 5'11" and they look significantly smaller.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they both look like smaller than what they say they are. Huh. Okay. But yeah, the crowd went nuts when the Lucha Bros came out. Like everyone on their feet, just screaming, and it was only like 20 seconds that they were out there.
Then we took a commercial break right after.
Yeah, but they got rid of Tony Nese and Ari Daivari, and that was what they had to do.
Sterling was still there, but he didn't cause much of an issue.
Right. He's Mark Sterling. He's a legal kind of guy.
You gotta do this by the book.
Right.
So, Briscoe, not being like a luchador, even though it was a regular match, he didn't use the chair in a way to get himself disqualified, but it was kind of cool. Slides that chair into the ring, uses it to run, jump over the top rope, do a cannonball to the outside. Like, you crazy bastard.
Yeah, and it's just, it works out so perfectly. I love it. He even made, like, I don't know, Josh Woods. I keep wanting to call him Mark Woods. But Josh Woods has never really impressed me in the ring before, but he looked really good with Mark Briscoe in here today. And
All that
good. He still has no personality, but
all that history, you'd hope they would have some chemistry. And he is a
good in-ring chemistry.
And he is a legitimate wrestler, so like he can like go. But yeah,
he just has zero personality.
Yeah, there's a number of people like that they gotta figure out.
Yeah. Because, yeah, he's just the MMA kind of guy. I'm like, okay. You got to do more than that in wrestling.
Especially nowadays, because there's so many people that have that kind of background.
Right.
Then mix that in with all the guys that went to Japan for strong style, so they have a striking in their wrestling. So even if it's not MMA,
right. I think we need. I don't know. Yeah, we'll need to see something else from him.
well, good thing he lost this match to a Death Valley Driver and then a Froggy Bow.
Good thing he lost this match. Hey, I thought he was going to get a Jay Driller. I did like that he had him counter the Jay Driller because I was expecting the Jay Driller for the win.
It felt like it was going to be kind of early,
yeah.
and it gave that a little bit extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see that, and you're figuring there might be a lot of that. But hey, it means he has 2 finishers already.
Yeah. I can get it. I get with it. Froggy Bow and the Jay Driller. I do like the way he drops that bow.
Thought I was gonna have to sneeze again.
I was waiting for it.
We're just gonna put that up for a moment.
You're gonna put up the sneeze. Do you have a sneeze graphic?
The battery pen.
Oh.
Makes me sneeze sometimes.
I thought you were gonna put something up on the screen. Like you got a sneeze graphic. Because I don't think we need a sneeze graphic. But you know, if you had one. Alright.
So, filler match of the night. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Brian Cage.
You say pillar match of the night?
I mean, I guess Jungle Boy is supposed to be a pillar, but I said filler.
Yeah, definitely filler match.
We didn't really figure out why this was a thing until the very, very end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as Jungle Boy was leaving, Christian Cage came back.
I mean, there was a match, but
yeah, the match was unimportant.
I will say,
absolutely unimportant.
I will say, because the match went about is how you would expect it to go. Jungle Boy's going to win after a bunch of speed stuff and countering power moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a sequence that I actually really liked between him and Brian Cage. That buckle bomb looked like it wasn't done right, so it looked nasty, and he bounced Jungle Boy bounced right out of the corner, right back for an F5.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was pretty clean.
But Jungle Boy went into the corner sideways, so I was like, I don't know how much of that was intentional, so it got me a little bit worried.
I don't know. Jungle Boy is the king of taking weird bumps recently. I don't know.
Awkward choke
You
slam.
gotta come back and get your title back. But yeah, that awkward choke slam and then this. And I'm always just like, man, I hope he's still alive.
But yeah, while Cage was on his knees, he did a running elbow to the back of the head, and then he rolled him up for the win. And Yuri started with it. Mr. has your probably favorite jacket on the AEW roster returns.
Yeah, he did have a nice jacket on today.
It's the same jacket in different colors still.
Yeah, but this is one of the colors that I like. So it was a nice jacket today.
Works pretty well with our graphics.
Yeah, he keeps wearing the same stuff. But yeah, Christian Cage is back. He's here to taunt Jungle Boy some more. Just in time for Revolution, I hope.
It has to be. If it's not over at Revolution.
Yeah, if it's not over at Revolution, I want a revolution in wrestling to happen.
What if he has the match with Christian Cage at Revolution and then Luchasaurus comes back and starts it all over again?
Oh my god, no. Just no. No.
So Cage walks down onto the stage as Jackie. He has his arm in a sling, and then Jungle Boy goes up to him and he just maces the shit out of him. He's
As one should.
I mean, a crippled dude,
armed.
Twice his age.
Yeah. You know, this young whippersnapper tried to attack me. Yeah. Hey, go ahead and mace him, Gramps.
Then he does the typical thing. Off comes the sling, off comes the arm brace, and a kill switch on the stage.
Yeah. So his arm's good. Hopefully that means we got Jungle Boy Christian at Revolution and we can end the story. Because as we were watching the show, he heard my reaction to it. I said, yay, now we can end this story. Not like, yay, Christian's back, but yay, this story can end.
Why would Christian want to even fight him, though? Because, I mean, tactically, Christian Cage already beat Jungle Boy at All Out.
Yeah. He did. He did beat him.
In, like,
I mean, it was
very short fashion.
Mm-hmm. But he's about to get that rematch, dog. Let Jungle Boy get his rematch at Revolution, and we end the story with the series at 1-1.
Oh, God. You just pointed out how this is going to continue.
I know. It hurt as I said it. Ow.
Why?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wish that on us. Just one time, please. Just do it this one time and end the story. Because Jungle Boy kept on. Once he ends the story with Christian, he's going to immediately be pushed into a title contention thing here. But which title? We were talking a little bit about that earlier. But I think we were saying the TNT kind of makes the most sense because you don't take a belt off of MJF anytime soon.
Actually, what if they built him up to be an MJF challenger, but he loses?
You could do that. You could do that, kind of how they did with Ricky Starks there, is they made the Ricky Starks match seem big. But, I mean, yeah, it was like a tournament and everything.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know how we're going to get there because they're going to have Revolution and then it's going to kind of reset things and they might come out and be like, Tony might be like, we're going to have another tournament for the new number one contender.
Nah. He might do something like that. But yeah, Jungle Boy is definitely going to be thrust into a storyline for a title. And that seems likely, I think. It just usually seems like when a babyface starts pantomiming for a title, usually they actually give him a belt.
Or at least start a long-term story that ends up with it eventually. Like, Hangman, it took so long for him to get his championship.
Yeah.
But it was all story.
Yeah, like his story played out. So maybe they'll have a long-term story for him. Maybe he'll be MJF's next challenger, lose it, and then have some kind of story that plays out for a little bit. And then eventually, down the road, they try to have him as the guy that takes the belt off of MJF.
I hope not. But hey.
Yeah, that's not what I would want, but...
I mean, you could use that to kind of try to propel him and build him up, and then maybe if Joe holds on over Wardlow somehow.
highly unlikely. But yeah.
The main event of this AEW Dynamite was Ruby Soho versus Tony Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker. DMD. So we wondered.
This match was kind of not fun to me. I'm gonna just say that right now.
I felt like they did a good job in the start telling a story, but the way that it ended just kind of felt lame.
Yep.
So first out was Tony. She had Saraya with her. They find a fan at ringside with a DMD sign. Grab the sign, grab the fan. They're about to paint an L on her. Ruby music come out. She's out there for the save. And then we get DMD in all of her glorious pyro.
Jeez. Her pyro that lasts as long as Goldberg's. I was like, God damn, who's next?
Who's next? So when I said like I thought the story was really good, it's because like in the beginning they both were trying to get Ruby to side with them. They kept trying to work with her. So Tony would hold Britt. Ruby would be like, nah, and then she'd try to roll Tony. Britt would do something to Tony, and then they say, let's attack Tony together. She tried to roll up Britt. So she just really was out there to win a match. She wasn't trying to side with anybody.
Yeah, and that was definitely the story of the match. It just, yeah, it did. I think they did a really good job in the early bits of it, but as we got to like the middle, like towards the meat, I was like, it was losing my attention.
I feel like when they did the joint cloverleaf and lockjaw spot was when I really start to feel like a difference in the rest of the match, because then it just got weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea jumps in, breaks up the submission, but then Jamie goes to hop in and go for Tony. Rhea hits, I don't know what the move's called, but hits something on Britt.
Yeah, Jamie gets the Sanjay Dutt treatment and gets knocked right back out the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is our women's world champion that just gets knocked around like a nothing.
Then we get something even more awkward. Freya painting Tony Storm's ass in the middle of the ring.
Yes. And she forgot to shake the spray can, so hardly any actual paint came out.
The whole point was, and they said it was like an L, but you really couldn't see anything, like you said.
Yeah, there was like almost an L on it, like a faint L. Like it was like if you had a stain on your clothes and you put them in the wash and a little bit of it still left after you wash them.
You said she forgot to shake up the spray paint can. It was almost like an empty spray paint can too. It was coming out that little.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no, what they were supposed to be doing, I guess, was that she was painting the L on Tony's butt, and then she was going to put her butt in Britt's face so that Britt had an L on her face, and that's not what happened.
Because she definitely did the hip check right after.
Yeah, it just no. I think they should just scrap the whole L loser Mean Girls thing that they're doing. Just scrap that part.
It's like,
how you can be heels without being Mean Girls.
Like, how can we make this really work? Let's be Mean Girls, but also try to be the NWO.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we gotta scrap that spray paint thing. Stop, please. SOS.
But after the hip attack, Ruby's able to actually throw Tony out of the ring directly into Saraya, so that way it wiped out Saraya and get the pin on Britt. That wasn't the end of our awkwardness.
I mean, the person that was just there to get a win got a win. Everybody else had some other motive. Like, it makes sense.
Then both Saraya and Jamie get in the ring, and they're all in her face, like trying to get her to take sides, and she's just like screaming that she's over it, and just kind of left alone in the ring on Dynamite.
Yeah. Well, so some of the motions that they were making there lets you know that Ruby's getting a title shot and possibly a triple threat with Saraya. But Ruby's definitely getting a title shot, as Jamie was holding the belt in her face and she did the
So what, maybe Britt versus Tony on the pre-show at Revolution and a triple threat for the title on the actual card?
I think Britt Tony wouldn't be on a pre-show.
I'm just trying to think if they would do anything with them in general. If it's not that, if that's the case, I don't know if it goes on the main card, because you also got to figure out what Jade's doing.
That's true.
And you do have a 1 hour Iron Man match for the main event.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that we have an hour match for the main event. So that's hopefully going to shorten some of the rest of that, because dog, I'm going to just have to have us some blankets ready to just pass out during the main event.
The main event's when it turns into a slumber party.
Yeah. I'm like, yep, you're just going to have to be ready for it. Get your sleeping bag ready. But yeah. Britt Tony. I don't know. Yeah, it could be a pre-show, I guess. Especially if, because you'll have to have Jade on the show too.
And we know Hangman versus Mox is happening.
Mox is on there. The Jericho and Ricky Starks match is the Jericho match, because I was just going to say, I'm just thinking of people that have to have a match.
And Jericho's not going to be pre-show, no matter what.
Right. Never, ever. Jungle Boy Christian.
Honestly, for all I care, that could be a pre-show match.
Probably have. It's cold, but yeah, I feel you. I wouldn't mind that either. Yeah, but yeah, then obviously you're gonna get your 4-way tag match.
Oh yeah. So there's a couple of other small segments that I'm not really worried about. There's one big one that we have to talk about. But before we get to the one big one that we have to talk about, Tony Schiavone with the Firm. I know there's a reference to what Stokely was doing that I don't understand, but I still find it hilarious either way.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Stokely's slam poetry promo was tight. And he was subtly, like, without saying it, because that would be like
not subtle
to someone's career, but he was subtly hinting that the reason why Hook did what he did is because Stokely is black, because he was mentioning that he called
Al Sharpton, Jesse
Al
Jackson.
Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and these are all like the big time black lawyers is basically who he's saying that he's called for his case here.
So broke his hand.
And then, but yeah, he was like doing it in the key of slam poet, like somebody was in the back with the bongos.
The way he said he wants justice.
I want justice.
He went like justice, like something like he went like deep with it. But even before that, when you first get back there, Hardy's wearing like the bright Hawaiian type like shirt, and he's just sitting there dancing and everything. I started cracking up before Stokely even said a word.
Yeah, Matt Hardy is going off the deep end with Ethan Page in charge, and I like it because Matt Hardy has gone way past the time that I could take him seriously. So I'm happy he's doing goofy stuff now.
It's weird because he was doing goofy stuff to have fun to piss off Ethan Page, but Page didn't get mad at this one, so I'm like, I don't even know.
I don't know. There's a weird dynamic going on with that. I've been trying to watch some of their segments on Dark because I don't know why, but that whole dynamic is fun to me with those two and Isaiah Cassidy.
Hey, as long as Ethan Page doesn't end up buried in the end and something comes out of this for him, I'll be happy.
Yeah. I mean, something's definitely gonna come of it.
I just don't want to see him like languishing down like super low. Like I want him to be kind of made out of it. Maybe not world champion, but
yeah.
If the dude doesn't end up as TNT champion at some point, that'd be a failure to me.
Because yeah, this is the legitimacy of that faction in general. It needs a champion.
Technically, they have champions, but they fucking ass boys aren't even with them anymore.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I'm like, they don't even really. They haven't mentioned them, not even one time.
Yeah, who the hell knows what's going on with them? Like, Stokely,
think
it's so good.
Like you would think, because if the Guns were still with them, Stokely would be bragging about it,
right?
About how they have a champion in their group, but no, they're not talking about them. So the Guns aren't in that faction of only 3 wrestlers.
Maybe they realize they can't have them anymore because they would literally be called the firm ass boys all the time.
Oh man, I think so. That's what happens. You got to get rid of them. Can't have firm ass boys. Oh man. But yeah, that faction is only 3 people. They should just feud with the Dark Order now. This is where.
Hold on, no. It's still, there's still more people because he still has Big Bill and Moriarty. They just never appeared together. It's always like it's A team and B team or some shit.
Yeah. And then, well, technically Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy are on contract for them, so they're not members of the firm. So there's really only 3 wrestlers in the firm and Stokely. So, hey, feud with Dark Order now. You guys are there. It's sad.
There's the pre-show match. Dark Order versus the Firm. Big Bill destroys everybody.
Yeah, somehow they gotta make that group legitimate. Somehow.
I want to see this, but I don't want to see this. Big Bill versus Satnam Singh.
And you get to see how much bigger Satnam Singh is than Big Bill. Like, he's regular Bill today. Or no, we're going to call him Little Bill that day. Yeah. Hey, little Bill.
That sounds like what Dut would end up saying. Just go up and be like Little Bill all the time. Feels like a Dut kind of thing.
Little Bill.
As Dut would still be looking up at somebody over a foot taller than him.
Yes.
Like, Little Bill.
I mean, he'd probably be a safe distance away at least, unless if Satnam was right behind him.
What if he was on Satnam's shoulders when he said it?
I don't know why they haven't had him.
I want him to carry him to the ring that way.
He needs to be on Satnam's shoulders at some point. Gosh, do it. You guys save it for a pay-per-view, but do it.
You know what? Let them get in the tag team title match. Let them win the tag team title match. And then when Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are walking away with the tag team titles, he could be on Sync's shoulders with the Golden Globe.
I keep forgetting that they stole that Golden Globe.
Hey, at least it'd be kind of relevant then.
Yeah. So is Stingray ever coming back to get his Golden Globe? I tried to remember what his name was.
Paul Walter Hauser.
I was like, is
Stingray.
Fuck it.
So there was only really one big promo on the night. And of course, it was the AEW World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, for content's sake, the context of this was probably one of his weaker promos, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say it was a decent length promo and all that, but
kind of cliche.
It's never bad because it's MJF, but it was not good for MJF.
Yeah, like he took somebody else doing a very cliche promo and made it look at least respectable, because it was the skipping ahead like a minute or two. He says he hates Danielson because he's got the people believing that Danielson's better than MJF, that they think Danielson's the best in the world, and he hates him for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was like, this MJF can do better than this. I think, although the whole monologue about driving, crashing into the pole with the girl, I didn't buy into it because I kind of thought it was like
a story.
I'm trying out for a movie monologue or something like that. I don't know. That's what I felt like, but people will call the police on the man, so he's got people believing whatever the hell he says, no matter what. So, hey, it's working, whatever he's doing.
But he reiterates,
he could have done better than that this week, though.
Oh, he could have, because it was kind of like the cliche. I hate you because the fans believe in you. But guess what? You think you're the best in the world, but there's only one thing that says you're the best in the world, and that's this championship right here.
Mm-hmm. The Triple B.
Now, as opposed to running down Danielson a bunch, he actually starts to give him credit. Talking about he knows that Revolution, they're going to be in a 60-minute match. He knows Danielson's going to give the performance of a lifetime. But he says when that clock hits 0, MJF is going to be the victorious one.
I liked that he tried to get Christopher Daniels.
Because he's like, if you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe this guy. He's like a mentor to Danielson.
Yeah, like he can tell you all about how Danielson sucks and stuff.
Having to type
And
Daniels and Danielson a bunch in like the same time period really sucked, by the way.
yes, it did. I typed Danielson. Like I don't even know if they're all correct in here. But yeah, Daniels he was like, yeah, he's gonna tell you about it. Daniels comes out, and he immediately was like, yeah, MJF tried to pay me to tell you guys that Bryan Danielson sucks, and I don't need this money, so I'm not gonna do that.
Basically, his point at that point was, if I wasn't as old as I am, and it was 10 years ago, I'd come out here and talk all the shit and run it down. But now he's, pretty much retired and all that stuff. He didn't say these things, but like obviously he's just at that point. It's like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, but yeah, he pretty much is there. But yeah, he was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest wrestlers, or I think he actually did say he's the best.
Said the truth is, Danielson will knock your dick in the dirt at Revolution. Bringing back the most awkward favorite phrase of AEW.
Oh man, it always reminds me of football. Being told to knock someone's dick in the dirt all the time.
Daniels goes on to talk about how he saw Danielson at a young age win this best of the world or whatever tournament, and that helped lead to the foundation of Ring of Honor, which is the same kind of wrestling that people want to see when AEW became a thing. And he looks at MJF, he said, so without Danielson, there may be no Ring of Honor, there may be no AEW, there may be no MJF.
Yeah, it's a good point, because if the Vince way won, MJF would have never had a chance.
Sadly, another person that had a lot to do with that at the time was Mr. Phil Brooks, CM Punk, kind of running Ring of Honor back in those days as well. MJF eventually has enough of it, right? And he goes to grab like Christopher Daniels. Daniels turns around and slaps the shit out of him.
Yeah. Slap that bitch.
More advertisement for Power Slap after AEW Dynamite.
Oh, man. But yeah, MJF ain't letting that go, though. Of course. Then he drops his old ass.
A kick to the dick.
With a kick to the dick. And then he puts him in is that the Fujiwara armbar that he uses?
Yeah, Salt of the Earth.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, he calls it Salt of the Earth, but it's the Fujiwara armbar. And he puts him in that, obviously, that was to give Bryan Danielson enough time to come out and get the save. And the crowd is like, yes. Yes.
And they actually did yes, which was a little bit surprising that they did do C. Just because at the very actual beginning of the promo from MJF, he says, no habla español.
Yeah. See, crowd, you dropped the ball there. You should have went with C.
And Jericho was never out in the ring, so they didn't get to do Ocho.
No Ocho. I love that one. That was great.
I mean,
wait. What else happened in this promo? Nothing. Yeah, that was it. That was the end of that.
Yeah, because after that, it's basically the Jim Ross with Wardlow conversation. The Adam Cole with Renee Paquette conversation.
Nothing long enough to really even talk about.
And Tony Schiavone with the JAS about Ricky.
Yeah, none of those were long enough to really talk about.
Mm-hmm. And they were all pretty much exactly what you expect. Now,
Yeah.
I will say, if somehow you are watching VOD still to this point of the stream, again, just a little reminder, hit the like button, subscribe.
Oh,
But
yeah, do that.
But if you're still here for the very end, I will say this much. The first, 75% of the Wardlow Jim Ross conversation was actually a decent conversation. Wardlow does look a lot better with his hair cut. I don't.
Yeah, that ponytail was dumb.
I don't know how much of that, if the full reasoning is true that he told us. I kind of feel bad saying it then, but he does look better without it.
Yeah. The ponytail didn't work, but I mean, if that was the meaning behind it, then okay, go ahead, Wardlow, do your thing. But
or at least grow your hair out fully, not just up there.
Mm-hmm.
Go the Roman Reigns route, the actual full head of hair, not the shave everything but the top.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, we gotta knock out the MJF one, but that's the only one I was really worried about.
Yeah, and in other news, Mr. Bone wears pink underwear.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Bone.
Am I missing something here?
Ask Brandon.
Yeah. We gotta yell at him because we gotta see if he did his homework.
He probably did.
Because there's not football on Sunday. So there's not that natural point of it's been another week, Brandon.
Yeah. He's probably looking forward to getting away. He's like, all right, cool. I've watched some sports with them, and now I will hide for the rest of the year.
I can hide until September.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, man.
All right.
Hope you're feeling better.
I am getting better slowly every day. This is, I probably still sound sick as heck, but this is the best that I've felt in 2 weeks.
And we're going to have Rampage doing that at a more normal time. So hopefully, from here till the end of the week, it's, positive vibes and good things.
Yeah, I won't need a nap before Rampage.
I still might. We'll see what that day brings.
I mean, well, it'll pretty much be impossible for me to nap before Rampage.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be come home and maybe you can grab something to eat real quick.
Yeah.
Or at least prepare it and then eat it during the watch along.
Yeah, that sounds more right. But I'd rather that than the opposite of waiting until 10.
You want to know what you could do? Mm-hmm. That a certain friend of ours was completely oblivious to? It's not like you got Jimmy John's across the street or anything.
Yeah. I could go to Jimmy John's. And it's freaky fast when you live across the street.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that's going to be it for us tonight. Again, thank you for joining, and we will see you on Friday night.
See you Friday.